Hey guys, Bruski here. It's been a little bit, so I've got some updates for you, and this is going to be mostly a talking head video. So if you're not into that kind of thing, not judging, go ahead and click away. Short version, you've probably been asking questions like, where have I been? What am I working on? What's the average velocity of a laden swallow? Well, I don't know. I'm not Monty Python, but I'm going to give you guys what I've been up to. So, short version, I've been a little bit busy lately because in the next couple months I'm going to be moving. This has been kind of a long-term plan. This has been something that my fiance and I have been working on for a while. We're going to be moving up north to the Sacramento area. She's going to be doing university. I'm basically just going to be working up there. So I am definitely looking for gamers in that area. So if you're watching my videos, if you're, a subscriber, a viewer, if you know anyone up that way, and you can recommend a good local game store or a good game group, please let me know in the comments. I definitely appreciate that kind of thing. Anyway, what I've been up to. So, I haven't really gotten into this super much. I've mentioned it in a couple videos in passing, but basically I have been working for the past 11 years. I've been doing one job in the daytime and one in the nights and the weekends. And that's, the nights, weekends has been like a nonprofit, a labor of love. It's been something I do, more because I care about it, more because that's something that I feel a calling to. And the daytime has been how I support myself and how I get along. So what's basically happening is I'm ending off one of them and I'm going to take the other one remote. And I've been turning things over, getting things wrapped up, basically just completing what I've been doing here. So that kind of hasn't left me a lot of time, particularly because one of the things that you actually do to wrap up is to take care of anything that you might have done incorrectly. You really take accountability and wrap up things that you got wrong, goofed up. And that's not a bad thing at all. That actually leaves you, in much better shape to move on with whatever you're doing. It's a little bit intensive, and I've been doing that for the past couple weeks, and that's actually going really, really well. So no complaints, honestly. It's one of the better things I've done. But that doesn't leave a lot of time for hobbies. So I'm just going to, kind of get into it, and I'm going to try and break this video down and answer a lot of questions in one shot, but it's really just to keep you guys in the loop, like I said. All right, so what I'm doing with Warhammer. Now, you guys know that I got the Ultimate Starter Box. I've got the Space Marines and the Tyranids. They're all built. Those videos are all up. That's fine, and a lot of people, I guess, found those useful, so good stuff. I'm glad you liked them. The next steps for me are to get those all painted, to get the minis based, and actually start doing battle reports. And one thing I want to do in the future with 40K specifically, I'm not in a position where I want to build massive armies. I used to like that kind of game. I don't so much anymore. It's just not necessarily my thing. What I want to do is, I thought I would focus on combat patrols and really start doing battle reports using those. And some of them, as 10th edition is rolling out, are getting updates. Like Tau just got updated, the Custodes just got updated. A lot of different things are rolling forth here. Orcs, I think, were updated too. And I know I want, 4 or 5 of these to begin with. I like the Marines. I really want to get the Raven Guard one that was out in the White Dwarf a couple of months ago. The sort of stealth, the Phobos armor combat patrol. Really interested in that. I definitely want the Eldar. I definitely want Tau. Necrons. That's kind of where I'm at so far. I might go Chaos. I might get Chaos. I might even get Dark Eldar. I haven't really figured that out yet, but I want to get a bunch of these, and I just want to be able to have a lot of battle reports with Combat Patrol, and I want to make scenery for that. I've got like 3 videos in progress, and I do apologize I haven't gotten them out, but it's just been that crazy, and I've kind of been jumping from one project to the next here. Like, I'm not going to show you my hobby desk, but it's just loaded with stuff right now. So probably the thing that made me a YouTuber, or the thing that made me want to do YouTube, was watching terrain videos from Wylock's Armory, from Geek Gaming Scenics, from Eric's Hobby Workshop, from Black Magic Craft. These guys just made this phenomenal terrain set, and usually did so out of, common household stuff. Gamza even, trash terrain. Damn you, Gamza! Anyway, I've wanted to do that for ages, and I finally did make some battle mats, some acrylic battle mats on canvas. I started making some terrain, and I've recorded video of some of these things. I'm going to try and wrap them up and get those out before I go. because I've got a little bit left to finish. Like the battle mats are done. I made one for Warhammer. I made one for Warcaster, actually. I'm going to try and get those done before I go, and that's the next couple of months. So I've got a little bit of time, and I should be able to do that. I think I can crank that out. And I've also asked, you know, how you guys want those videos to look. Do you want to see every step? Do you want to see the nitty-gritty details? Do you really want it to be like a full-blown tutorial, or do you want me to show you the battle mat and show you the scatter and show you just kind of quickly how it was done? If you have any insight on that, please do leave a comment so I know kind of what you're looking for, what would be most useful to you. That's kind of the plans for 40K. What I'm probably putting more effort into and more beans into is Warcaster. And the reason for that is I've really wanted to do a campaign. I had dropped the name of this a while back, The Fall of Endymion. And I have all kinds of concepts. I've got the narrative of it all laid out. I've got the environments planned out, drawn out. I know exactly what I would need to build for this. And I started building one of them. If you guys saw the sort of cavern setup, foam board rocks, a couple MDF kits for industrial terrain, that was one of those setups. Okay, and that's the other one I'm going to finish before I go. If I can, I want to do a bat rep for that with my Marchers and my Iron Star Alliance, because those are, you know, I put some time painting these. They're pretty close to done. I need to do more work on the ISA to finish it. The Marchers are a little bit closer to, you know, they're just primed. So there's a lot more work to be done there, but still. There's a lot of future in Warcaster. I know a lot of people are coming back to the game, and I'm not... Privateer Press is going to launch new factions, and they're going to do updates when they're going to do them. It's probably not for a bit yet. I just want to get this done as my own project. I've never done battle reports. I've never done a narrative campaign. And for me, that's something I really want to get into. And I've had great support from War Budgies, always encouraging me on this. Steam and Sorcery, Jason has always been behind me. Patty, Patrick, Jeremy, you know, you guys have always been there, you know, cheering me on. And I really don't want to drop the ball on that. It's just been something I need to get to. And I've not been the greatest at that. So in and of itself, just being a more consistent content creator, I mean, I'm finally going to have the opportunity to really do that. And I think you guys are going to like what I have to offer when I get to that point, but I'm really not in the environment, and I'm not in the setup to do that right this very minute. The past couple of years, to be honest with you, I've been doing the best I could to just crank out content and to give you what I had, and to make it digestible, viewable, and I've been trying to upgrade my tech and do a better job of it, and do a better job of editing and sound and all these other things. And you can kind of tell where I've come with that. I mean, you're listening to, you know, royalty-free Final Fantasy soundtracks courtesy of Game Chops and Rifty Beats right now. I wasn't using that when I started out. I wasn't using any music when I started out. I wasn't even editing and clipping my video. So you just have dead air as I went, Well, yeah, I've obviously come a long way. So that's kind of where that's at. In general, you know, I do have a few other points just on the human side of what's been going on. And I mentioned some of that with the move and wrapping up what I'm doing work-wise. That's all to the good. But there's a little more going on. I've not been as active on Rumble lately, to be honest with you. And some people noticed that and they asked, well, why was that? And easy answer is it got really inconvenient uploading to YouTube and Rumble. And I'll tell you why, and I'm not the only creator that's run into this, I can tell you that. Rumble had a feature to automatically sync up your YouTube videos over to Rumble, okay? And all you had to do was upload to YouTube, and Rumble would catch on and load up the same videos for you with some delay, sometimes days, weeks. It just depended on the size of the video and when Rumble actually picked up on it. Well, a couple months ago, YouTube, and I don't know their official stance on this, but they basically decided they weren't gonna, they basically just weren't going to cooperate with that anymore, and they didn't really care to. They weren't legally obligated to, and they just kind of went, no, we're not going to provide your videos. So a lot of creators who had that set up in Rumble to have their videos on YouTube ported over to Rumble, that just stopped working, and there wasn't really much of an announcement. There wasn't really much of any heads up on that. Rumble did put it out on Twitter, but YouTube was just kind of like, I'm out. So wasn't the most fun thing to run into, to be honest with you, but I am uploading this video on YouTube and Rumble. I don't know that I want to get into streaming on Rumble. Again, that kind of comes down to schedule, and I have a hesitancy on doing something live that requires, a bit of a regular audience when I can't be that consistent, and I don't want to have people show up only to disappoint them. So I'm being a bit careful on that point. But I am going to upload this to both. I do want to start getting videos on Rumble again. That's kind of the long and short there. Now, in a couple of the communities I'm a part of, there's been some drama lately, and I do want to address that. There have been various things between BattleTech. Catalyst Game Labs has done a lot in the way of blocking viewers, blocking people on various social media, the whole thing on the demo team takeover. And if you've seen me on Twitter, if you've seen me on Reddit, if you've seen me in various places, you kind of know my take on it. I really don't like how it was done. I understand the sentiment and the viewpoint behind it. I really don't agree with the complete shutdown of anyone who disagrees, especially when you had a bit of a hostile takeover there with the team. So I'm not supporting Catalyst right now. I love BattleTech. I love the books. I've talked to a lot of people, and there are a lot of fans out there. I'm not going to be using official products, and I'm not really going to be probably doing much of any content pushing those. I don't really support, like I said, what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not going to put my beans into the company doing that. I don't agree with chopping up your fan base. I don't agree with doing it under the guise of promoting equality and under the guise of promoting fairness and diversity when it's one way. It only works for one half of the crowd. It's just, that's not real. That's fake, and I'm not really behind that. So miniatures, I mean, I'm going to go to Ironwind. I'm going to go to 3D printing. They're out there. The minis are out there. The data sheets are out there. The rule sets are even out there without using an inch of Catalyst product. So I'm not gonna, but that's going to be later on. That's, like I said, Warcaster and Warhammer are probably my priority right now. But in terms of BattleTech, that's what I'm doing. 40K also had some drama with the whole female Custodes thing. Here's my thing, okay? Lore, I love the lore of the game, and I've played it long enough that I know how long the issue of female Space Marines has been around. I'm not saying that I hate the change. I'm saying that it's a dumb way they did it. They put a paragraph of lore into one of the codexes or into a novel that had a female Custodes. Okay, fine. This was, made official and backed up on Twitter just by saying, oh, well, they've always been there for 10,000 years. And the thing that bothered me was not what they changed so much as how. I mean, think back to 8th edition and the release of Primaris, Gilliman coming back, all the things that Belisarius Cawl had cooking for the last 10,000 years since the heresy. Well, okay, that's a leap from the Space Marines we had to what we currently have. So things can change. Lore can definitely change. I would rather it did it with something that made a bit more sense versus something that, if you believe the rumors, that has something to do with the Amazon show, a point of, DEI type of stuff coming in, whatever. I don't really care. The point is, I'm here to play the game. And I do like the lore. I do have my own viewpoint about it, but ultimately I'm not that bothered. And I'm not going to cut people out of my gaming circle because they like it a different way. I'm not going to tell them I'm not going to play with them. If someone, has a problem with me, that's fine. That's their right. That's their choice. That's totally fine. I'm going to play with anyone who wants to sit across from me and roll dice. And that's always what I've been saying. That's what I've said in my podcast. We took this up with Patty and Jeremy a while ago, and that was kind of the same deal. I have no issue playing against anyone if they don't have a problem with me. If they're, trying to dictate various points of how I play and what I say and how I act and all these other points, well, I'm probably not going to have as good a time, and I might go elsewhere, honestly. But that's going to be about it. Other than that, I have noticed that there's a lot more people coming to my channel, and welcome to you guys. I know I obviously don't have a lot of new stuff to show you, but people are really digging that Foam Rocks video, let me tell you. You kind of, if you've watched the rest of this video, you know what my plans are. You kind of know what I'm looking at, what I'm going to be doing. I don't really know. I'm kind of at a point where it's like, I watched a video of Nate Black's a while back. He used to be with vidIQ or TubeBuddy, I forget which, but it was one of these YouTube apps that, tracks your views and your subscriptions and what's getting you follows and your metrics and all that stuff, and kind of gives pointers on how to improve your content, how to improve your delivery. The one video that he did that I really learned something from was like positioning. It was like how to win in 2024. This was at the beginning of the year. And he sort of portrays that there's 4 types of YouTubers. There's heroes that are taking you on a journey and showing you what they're doing. You're along for them. These are like the outdoorsmen, the hikers, and all that stuff. You have performers who are either doing music or comedy, or they're reading audiobooks or whatever. You have commentators who are more like news, reviews, unboxings, that kind of thing. And then you have educators. And the thing that by survey you guys see me as apparently is an educator. I am teaching things. I am showing you how to do things. Not having done battle reports so far, not having done a lot of games, you guys have seen more how to craft terrain, how to build things, how to paint things, how to do things with your gaming group, discussion, that kind of thing. And I think that really does paint me in the educator light, and that's kind of what I want to continue. My value, my purpose of the channel is to give you guys inspiration, know-how, and things that you can duplicate in your gaming environments, things you can go build, things you can go do. And that is what I consider to be the product, or the thing I'm trying to achieve with my channel. I want to pass things on to you guys that you can then go do, or know how to do, or have a better time gaming because of, okay? So I'm going to continue to do that. That's going to be the same path and the same vein that I'm going in. I definitely want feedback, and I want to hear from you guys on what it is I can help you with, what it is you're interested in seeing, what it is you want to learn more about from me. If I built something and maybe put a picture up on my Instagram, or put something on Twitter, and you saw that and that's what brought you to the channel and you want to see more of that, I would love to hear about it. I want to know what that is. So that's kind of my going forward. And like I said, I know I'm going to be moving. There probably will be a little bit of dead zone in there, but I want to keep cranking out some content for you guys. I'm going to focus, like I said, on the terrain projects right now, because that's what I can do. I'm going to try and do a campaign trailer for Fall of Endymion. And I've got, like I said, I've got some terrific help. I've got someone to help out with some voiceover later on. Jasmine is like my sister from another mister. She's agreed to help with that, and she's a phenomenal actress, so that's going to be awesome. I've found a lot of things I can use, sound packages, different things to edit, different things to record. I've got that pretty firmly in mind what I'm going to do, and I think you guys are going to like that. And it's going to be a fun campaign. I can see some twists and turns with it depending on how the games actually go, but I think it's going to be something you guys haven't seen before. At least not in this game and not in this format. So I really hope you like it. And that's going to be, that's kind of the project that like gets me excited. That's what really gets me like, ooh, that's going to be fun. So I really hope you guys like that. So anyway, I think I've talked enough. I'm going to go edit this and get this uploaded right now. I got to be up early tomorrow. Please, like I said, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what it is you want to see, any suggestions you have, even criticisms. Like, it's fine. I'd like to hear from you guys and do more what would be helpful to you, or what you'd like to see, whatever that is. Just let me know, okay? So, good talking with you. Glad to see you again, and I'll catch you on the next video. Stay savage.